to meet the ball blaster.
Oh, okay. What's that for?
Then you need to blast the yellow ball right.
Woo! That was loud.
Yeah. Well, where's the yellow ball? We blast it. Where's the yellow ball? Gotta be here.
See, you 5 years old?
It's raining.
It's raining outside. What's that, cat in the hat? Rain outside?
No cars are out there raining outside. Whoa! Move back, David. Watch this. Down to 8 and watch this.
Today been a good day. You had a flat tire today. I don't realize that, and it was money that you weren't expected to spend. Because I know you just, it's amazing how when you just get your check, all of a sudden you get a flat tire, everything go wrong. I don't understand that.
Although it cost me $12 to have my tire repaired, it wasn't so much the money, it was just the inconvenience of knowing that I had to be down at the station 2 hours later, and all of a sudden I get a flat tire, which means I must frantically rush to the place where I can have it fixed, repair it, and then run home, take a shower, and then prepare to come down here to the studio. But then it's all in the game. That's part of life. You've got to expect the unexpected.
Now, what would happen if it would have happened before you got your check and you didn't have no money in your pocket, and you had a pretty light-skinned woman in your car? I know you like dark women because you're light-skinned, but just say you had a light-skinned woman in your car, she looked high yellow like a Halle Berry, and you drive your car, you get a flat tire, and your donut ain't working right. What would you do in that situation? You didn't have no, and you didn't get your check that way. You didn't have time to go to bank and get your backup, man. What would you do in that situation?
Well, being as I'm a man of the cloth, I must do a lot of praying to keep my emotions under control.
Now, what would you do if that would have happened and you didn't have the money, and all of a sudden she turned to the Wicked Witch of West and she started over, but you ain't got no money, and I'm too pretty to be out here in this car on Gettysburg, and the car that broke down, and you ain't got no flat tire and this and that and that. What would you do then? Even though you read the Bible, you're the preacher man, how are you handling that situation? And she run her mouth extremely like the woman on Atlanta Housewives. What's that woman's name? With a Nella, they just get married.
Yeah, Nene.
Nene, her kind of attitude.
Well,
It got loud with you too, where her voice get real loud, like it got her purse between you, like she the boss, and don't realize you the boss. What you doing? And you ain't got no money, and you got a flat tire before you get your check, and the car break down, and she getting a major attitude.
well, that would be a time when I would have to resort to doing some very, very deep prayer
And what you do while you praying? She said, what you doing praying? You need to get this flat tire fixed, running her neck and running her mouth. When you forget you're a preacher man for a minute and get the right hands.
For a moment, you might. But then you would ask the Lord to forgive you and try once again. Even though you slip every once in a while, knowing that the Lord loves you, He'll forgive you if you ask for His forgiveness. And just keep on trying to do the right thing.
You trying to do the right thing. You try to tell her that, but she got her mouth running. And then she dig up her purse and said, well, I pay to get the car fixed. Talk about you ain't no real man to her because you ain't got no money and your check only going to be there 2 days later. What would you say to that independent black woman?
Well, I would tell
and
her.
You got a flat tire.
I would tell her, thank you, sweetheart, for being so kind as to pay for the bill.
Now, you know, some black women say, don't date me. And you said, who do I date? Date yourself. Who you do? She said that. And go up to the dealership when the car gets fixed and get her attitude, walk ahead of you, because you don't like a woman walking ahead of you and said she paying for everything. And talk about you ain't a real man. And then your preacher pals are sitting there getting their car fixed and she trying to front off in front of you. What would you do with that black woman?
I would walk over to her, look her deep in her eyes, and tell her, thank you, darling.
Man, why I don't believe that?
And give her a little kiss.
Do you believe that in public? Do you believe that my dad really gonna do that? Or you think
sure
he just
would.
playing the game with us on there?
You know, I wouldn't tell you a fib.
Nah, he would do that because he's cool, calm, and collected. What would I do if that happened? You know I'm out of work, ain't got no money. The flat tire come down, and an independent black woman like her gonna run her mouth talking about I ain't no real man. What do you think I'd do if something like that happened to me?
I would hope you would take her by the hand and look her deep in her eyes and say, honey, don't worry.
Nah, I think I look deep in the eyes, but it might be the way you think it's gonna be.
You don't think so?
I think I'm out deep eyes, and my hand gonna be like Ike Turner, be like, what you say, enemy?
No, I don't
Enemy, I
believe
think you
that.
talk too much.
I think you're a good man, and you wouldn't resort to such drastic means of expressing your feelings.
I'm just expressing my love to her.
Oh, your
With my
love.
hand
Oh,
going in the
that's-
throat.
Now,
I try to help her to keep quiet, so I had to have the hand to keep her quiet.
when you get in positions like that, you've got to watch your emotions. They could very easily get away from you.
I get these away when the police arrest me and then they send me to jail and I have the nerve to call her to bail me out of jail when I'm the one that did the Ike Turner on her. You think she bail me out of jail to do something like that?
I don't think so. Not after you did something like that. That's why it's so important as you mature, you learn to think before you react.
I did think.
You didn't
I
think
think
the
about
right
putting my
way.
hands on the collar.
No, you don't do that, David. As you get older, you get wiser. As those gray hairs come into your head, you see more and more of your gray hairs on your head, you'll gain a little bit more wisdom.
You notice I gained a little more wisdom since I'm 40 years old, and now you're 71 years old. But the problem is, when I go in the slumber part, I lose my 3%. And every time I lose my 3% and I go ahead and run the marathon at the slumber party, she always talking about she can do better than me. And it comes a library all of a sudden. See, it used to be a lot of, you know how black folk, urban people, they make a lot of noise at 12 o'clock at night on the slumber party. Well, since I lost my 3%, it been like a library, and all of a sudden she want to keep me at the door. And she be calling 911 because I ain't going to leave out her house with my crusty feet and I lost my 3%.
So you're saying the ability to communicate with her seems to get a little bit more difficult.
Very difficult. Like when we went to Walmart, right? And I took her with my nappy hair. The Kunta Kinte kids with nappy hair like me, right? Because she got straight hair. All of a sudden, I got nappy hair. I don't quite understand that. She go to the hair salon. At first, I thought her hair was Kunta Kinte like mine. Then when she leave out, she got straight hair. But I got nappy hair, right? And she independent dog woman, right? And got a lovely attitude that I don't like to see. And she go ahead and we go to Walmart and I can't pay to get the kids clothes because it's clothing time for the winter time, right?
Yes.
And I try to get the kids clothes. So what I did, I went down to the Goodwill, right? And I got the clothes at the Goodwill. She got very upset. Then I went to my brother-in-law's house and got the hand-me-downs to her. She cussed me out. And then when I got the milk and cookies later on that night, I lost my 3%. And she started to cuss.
You mean, even after all of that, you still insisted that you receive your weekly milk and cookies.
Milk and cookies. See, when I used to be working, I used to work at Taco Bell, right?
Oh,
So I used
yes.
to bring food in the house every day. She didn't have to cook. She had some of the burritos. You thought it was air coming out the house because there was a lot of air coming out the house where you eat a lot of burritos in the urban community,
I
right?
understand.
And then she got mad because I lost my Taco Bell job working, making minimum wage. What is it, like $7.25? That's minimum wage, right? Well, I was making less than that because I was a Taco Bell man working 2 days a week because they had me on that was overtime at Taco Bell, right? Then I lost my job at Taco Bell, right? So then next thing you know, I had to depend on her because she worked at McDonald's. She's the head chef at McDonald's making the fries and the shake. And she walk around, she got a little attitude with me because we went to Walmart and I couldn't pay to get the kids' shoes, right? So I went ahead and when I went to the Goodwill and got the shoes for her there, she got very upset with me. And I told her that I still need the milk and cookies because I'm the boss and even though I ain't got no money. And I'm going to go to the thrift store and I'm a panhandler. I expect to get my bath water rub and I'm the boss. And she'll give me the milk and cookies. And next thing you know, she called the police on me again and again. The police came to my house and I said, Mr. Policeman, don't you get tired of picking up the gingerbread man every week by week? I feel like I'm in a motel at Montgomery County Jail.
Well, you know, have you two tried to sit down and come to some agreement and maybe compromise a little bit? You give in a little bit and she in turn will give in a little bit and maybe the two of you can work things out.
Well, I told her I told her she could take out the trash, right? And that's her
Take out
give.
the trash.
And I'll be the one to cook in the house. But the only problem is I can't cook, so the fire department keep coming down every week because I done burned down the house. So she didn't want to agree with that. And talking about and then she gonna tell me I ain't the boss, and I told her I'm the boss because I brought the Bible because you a preacher man, and I might be a preacher man in the future, I don't know. And I said, you know what? She said, you ain't never want to be a preacher. I said, all of a sudden I want to be a preacher when they got the part about the man, the boss, and obey. All of a sudden I'm very interested. I started reading the verse to her. She started getting very upset, calling her girlfriend and said, this no good gingerbread man treat me wrong, ain't paying the bills, and gonna talk about he the boss of the house and didn't want the milk cookies, and he lost his 3%.
And she seems to find fault with that.
I mean, I'm 40 years old.
But it's in the Bible, right?
Yeah, it's in the Bible. The man's supposed to be the boss. I know God would lie to put that in the Bible.
No, he wouldn't do that.
So I told her I'm the boss. That's what I call the preacher man. See, I don't take her to church. Unless I go to your church on TV when I watch your Minutes of Warfare, right? But I tell her I'm the boss all of a sudden when we argue. I said I'm the boss, so let her know I'm the head even though I ain't paying for that. She said, well, a real man will go ahead and pay the bills in this house and be the boss. I said, I'm the boss if I pay the bills or don't pay the bills because I'm the boss. Because let's arm wrestle. And the one that win the arm wrestle win. So I always win the arm wrestle.
I would expect you to win because you naturally have the advantage over her. You have the muscles.
I got the muscle. She don't.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
But she got the muscle in the mouth.
Oh, yeah. Well, they try to compensate for the fact that physically you're stronger than they are, but sometimes mentally they try to overcome us in that area. And in some cases, they do.
So what I did, I left her. I went to my favorite place called the welfare office.
The welfare office.
They always got jobs working with one month and then you can get unemployment again and get unemployment extension. And then after you get an unemployment extension, you go back to look for a job again, get fired again.
So you found that by going back to work for at least a month, you can retain your status as being able to draw unemployment.
See, me and my girl, we live in the soda baths, right? We broke black brothers, right? And she got her, she never get her hair done. She look like a buckwheat on a good day.
On a good day.
She look like buckwheat on a good day. She's a beautiful dark woman with nappy hair, but all of a sudden when she get her hair done and her hair straighter than mine, all of a sudden she the queen and I'm a nappy head junkie.
Okay.
But I told her I'm still the boss. So I walk in the soda bath, her apartment, right? And we got the bed bugs in there because they are pets.
Wait a
we can't afford pets at the pet store, so we got bed bugs that crawl over the stairs, and we have leashes on them. They're my pets.
Well,
we can't afford the pet.
I hope the two of you